Max 2 right quick. That's what we're seeing, that hail core right now. Highway 67 there on the Bigger Trail Road back to Datto, and that's going to move in the direction of Corning. So some large hail is coming into Corning, and on the south side near Reno, that's where we would expect to see the best chance for a tornado. So if you live in Reno, Corning, Noble, this will likely stay north of Peach Orchard, but go ahead and get in your tornado safe spot in Peach Orchard, and this will eventually move towards McDougal and back towards Piggott. But the primary threat, tornado and very large hail, and you can see where the pinks have gone away. Basically what that's saying, Christina, as you know, that hail has just been dumped out right on top of Datto.
And we're getting evidence of that for sure. So a very violent storm. So even if this wasn't a tornado warm storm, still dealing with some very large hail that has just bottomed out of the cloud. The updraft wasn't strong enough for the size of hail we were seeing, and it just went right on down. So what we are seeing right now is still that area of rotation. It is right on the Clay and Randolph County line at this time. So again, if you're in Corning, you want to be in your safe space, because even if you're not seeing this tornado warned storm where the rotation is, what you are seeing is likely going to be some large hail and even some gusty wind. We're getting a new scan in right now on that velocity, the wind speed and direction. So let's go ahead and look at the radar, see what we're seeing right now. I still think the area that we need to be watching is going to be where the radar is trying to hook around here. So that's going to be the most likely chance of seeing a tornado if one develops. North of that, where you see the dark color on your screen and the purples, that's going to be where the large hail is and where the large hail is falling. So that's getting very close to Corning, likely going south of Success. Peach Orchard, as Aaron just mentioned, likely in the clear from the storm as it continues to try to move maybe just a little bit to the north. I want to play this out. And it does look like that's going to go north of Peach Orchard and Naw, but you still want to be in your safe space. Officially, you are in this tornado warning, and it's just good to be better safe than sorry, because with these storms, they don't always do what they're supposed to. Right now, it looks like it's trying to move to the east. It's possible that it decides to do something a little bit different. So if you're in the warning, that's why they're drawn kind of broadly, is to account for the fact that they might not go in the direction that we anticipate that they will. But it does seem to be moving to the east right now. So let's go ahead and switch over to debris real quickly just to see if anything's popping up. Not getting really any signatures there that appears to be very obvious. So we still have a tornado warning nonetheless, whether it's confirmed or not. We want to take it seriously. You can still see that area of rotation here. Want to zoom out just a tad, put another storm track on this, and give folks downstream a little bit of a heads up on this as it continues to move to the east at 50. So put a storm track on that area of rotation here, dragging it out to about 50. This is going to go outside of the warning as that warning continues, or as the storm rather continues to push its way to the east. But still, remember, upper right-hand corner of your screen, if you're watching us on streaming, that time is the time that it is right now while we're talking. Line that up with the time on your watch or on your smartphone, because there's going to be a little bit of a delay. At Noble at 7:26, Rector at 7:48, Piggott at 7:54, Bell City at 58, and at Kennett at 8:03. This new warning, whenever they drew it for Clay County, when does that one expire?
That warning expires at, I almost said the severe thunderstorm warning. That warning expires, oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
8 o'clock.
At 8 o'clock. So Kennett officially not in this warning, but if it does hold itself together, we're going to be watching that getting closer to you at around 8:03. At 8 o'clock, that's when this cutoff for the warning will expire. So we're going to be watching that for the likely next 35 minutes or so as it continues to push its way to the east, albeit kind of slowly. These storms this morning were moving a lot faster. These ones moving a little bit slower. Not really an indication that anything is better or worse than what we were seeing before. Just pretty well just an observation. But if we switch over and look at radar, what we're seeing right now is still just a very strong storm. This is still rotating, likely seeing some hail still forming and falling very close to Corning. We just got a new severe thunderstorm warning issued just ahead of that as well for Randolph County and parts of Lawrence County as well. So I want to go ahead and quickly zoom out. If you're joining us right now, what we're seeing is one tornado warm storm but multiple storms, including that storm, capable of producing some large hail. We've got a special weather statement for our storm that is over by Batesville. More severe weather just outside of Region 8, but that's all associated with this cold front. As it continues to push its way to the east, that's when we have to continue to watch for the chance of severe thunderstorms and tornadoes to form. If you're watching us over in Baxter County, you guys are fine. You guys are behind that cold front. Your severe threat essentially over and done with, but we're still gonna have to be watching, and the reason why we're in programming right now is because of this storm moving into Clay County right now. So let's go ahead and zoom in on that storm again. And what we're seeing is still this storm. I don't want to say that it's weakening, but it doesn't look quite as impressive as it maybe once did.
I think the hill core may be trying to form back on that storm again. So
yes,
it just shows, and that rotation starting to tick up again, coming into the south sides of Corning. And that's indicative of two things: that updraft, that rotation, and that updraft that's going to really produce that hail that's now on top of Corning, and then behind it, the tornado threat starts to come in. This is a look at the iDrive Arkansas camera there in Corning. I think that's looking back towards the north. Northbound, yeah, that's looking back towards the state line. You can see it's a little clearer. I think if you click out of the camera, you can actually switch to the southbound view and see the darker clouds that are back off towards Corning with that storm coming in. Onto a quick track, if we go to max 2 real quick and just do a quick track on this. This is moving very quickly at 50 miles per hour to the east and southeast. And that will put it's coming into Corning right now. It's not going to show up on the screen, but it's coming into Corning right now. Pollard at 7:48, 7:53 in Piggott, and then in towards Bell City at 7:58, Holcomb 8:04, and Kirk at 8:09 as that moves out of Clay County and into northern parts of Dunklin County. Here's a look at that iDrive camera looking back towards Corning. And you can see two things: very heavy rain with that, dark clouds, lightning looking back towards Corning, and some very strong winds even on the north side of this storm. So this is on the north side of the storm. The wind's going to be just as strong, if not even stronger, on the south side of this storm between Noble and Corning. As this continues to move through, probably some at least quarter-size hail, if not larger, in Corning right now. And that's moving off towards the east, moving towards McDougal, and if this holds together, moves towards Piggott.
And we've got a new radar scan. If we can go ahead and switch back over to, thank you, switch back over to Max 1. What we're seeing right now is that rotation does appear to be tightening once more just south of Corning. This is going to continue to push to the east at around 50 miles an hour. So still moving relatively quickly, but a little bit slower than some of the storms we were tracking this morning. What we're watching is this area of rotation. If we switch over to radar, you can almost see it a little bit better because you can see this hook happening right here with the storm. You got the air high up in the sky pushing all of the rain and the hail out to the east and the northeast a little bit, and then we've got this little area right here because the wind's coming in from a different direction. That's showing us the rotation. So if we do have a tornado, which if we switch over and look at debris, really not seeing anything obvious right now. There's nothing drawing my attention to this, but we still want to treat it as if it is on the ground because we're still not in a gray area for radar coverage right now, but we're still getting this area of rotation, at least at some level in the atmosphere. So we want to take this seriously. Going to go ahead and put a storm track on this as well. I don't know if my picture is quite wide enough to get 50 in here. No, okay. So we'll try that again. Zoom out a little bit more. If any numbers pop up, these numbers are not accurate. Okay, they didn't. We'll zoom out just a little bit more. And I think that should be enough. The storm's moving to the east at 50 miles an hour. This is going to start to talk to Dunklin County, even parts of Pemiscot County, but you guys are officially not in this warning right now. Randolph County, that area of rotation has left you. You still have that tornado warning officially. It will expire at 7:30, so we're just about 40 seconds away from that. But until then, that area of rotation has moved into Clay County right now. If you're watching us over in Boydsville, the time of arrival for where this area of rotation is 7:41. Piggott at 7:53, Bell City at 7:59, Holcomb at 8:04 rather, and then in Clarkton at 8:08. So you want to be in your safe space. That's an interior room, lowest level, and something protecting your head at this time as we have this tornado warning in effect right now for Clay County. So wanted to go ahead and switch over and look at radar again just to make sure we're not missing anything. We'll take a wider view and what we're seeing as well right now. Mostly just focused on the storm over in Clay County. I think this is all going to go north of Greene County, even though the very northern side of Greene County is officially in that warning. We still have this severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of Sharp and most of Randolph County, even the northern side of Lawrence County, and the special weather statement over for Batesville and moving into other parts of Independence County as well this evening. But we're still going to have to track. You could see where the cold front is and where this boundary is setting up. We've got storms developing along I-40 and then continuing to track those moving into the state line. And as the system slowly moves to the east, it's going to be capable of producing more storms that could be severe or even tornadic. So let's go ahead and zoom back in on this storm over in Clay County. That's our tornado warning storm. This is storm of the hour right now. You can still see that area of rotation, and it looks like
we're getting reports of $half size hail in Corning.
Wow.
So that's about 1.25 inches. So some very large hail that fell in Corning just a little bit ago. Mm-hmm. And that's now moving down Highway 62 towards McDougal and Pollard, along with the chance for a tornado. Well,
is your wind looking a little odd right now as well?
It is.
Okay, so not really sure what's going on there, but that area of rotation is still going to be near Corning right now. So we'll follow the radar because the radar is still showing us this hook. Where we see that hook, that's where the rotation is. We're getting some bad wind data in right now, but they've trimmed back that tornado warning storm. So Greene County, you guys have no warning right now. So, but we're not done with the night. We still have severe thunderstorm warnings just outside of Greene County, so we'll have to continue to track that as it pushes its way to the east. But this is our tornado warning storm right now over in Clay County. Wanted to go ahead, put another storm track on this. If you're just now joining us, we have one tornado warning storm right now that is only for Clay County. We still have some severe thunderstorms capable of producing some large hail, reports of $half size hail happening as well. And I remember, whenever you're watching us, if you're watching us on streaming, look at this time in the upper right hand corner. There's going to be a little bit of a delay, so match that up with your smartphone or your watch just to make sure you know how delayed it is. Right now it is 7:32. At 7:49, if the storm holds together, we're going to be looking at that area of rotation over in Pollard, seeing it over in Piggott at 7:54, in Caryville at 8 o'clock, Holcomb at 8:05, and Clarkton at 8:09 as this continues to push to the east at 50 miles an hour. But if you live in Clay County and your phone went off letting you know that there was a tornado warning, it's time to get into your safe space. You don't want to go outside and try to get eyes on this. I know we like to see the storm and get some proof of it, but now's not the time to test it. We've got this area of rotation. As the storm continues to push its way to the east, it is capable of producing a tornado. Getting some better wind data coming back into the computer, so that's some good news there this evening. But let's go ahead and zoom back in on that so we can see where this area of rotation is. Start calling out some smaller locations. If you hear a street name or a small community and it sounds familiar to you, it's near your area, go ahead and get into your safe space. This is very close to Corning right now, continuing to watch County Road 25. If you're over by County Road 253, you need to be in your safe space, as well as over by County Road 246. Still watching County Road 305, Clay Road 301. If you're in Hickoria, you want to be in your safe space right now if you've not already done so, as well as in McDougal. Still watching County Road 445, 444. The Crockett community, you want to be in your safe space at this time. West Clay Street, looking at County Road 431, I think this is 431. West Clay Street, looking at County Road 451, still watching West Clay Street as you head into Piggott as well. You want to be in your safe space at this time, as well as in Pollard. Continuing to watch County Road 352, 358. If any of these sound vaguely familiar, you want to be in your safe space. Right now, this warning is not for Dunklin County, it's only for Clay County, but if it continues to hold together, it will be moving into the northern parts of Clay County. Has the National Weather Service at Memphis mentioned anything about drawing something downstream?
Not anything downstream. They did mention that the rotation is increasing, tightening up there in Clay County with that storm, so we're watching that. Also reporting now golf ball size hail has fallen in Corning.
Jeez.
And then for people in Jonesboro and Craighead County, the Craighead County Courthouse Annex has now opened as a shelter for those who need shelter tonight. Now, there's not a storm in Craighead County or really going to affect Craighead County here in the next little bit, so we still have some time, but if you do need a storm shelter, the Craighead County Courthouse Annex there on Union Street here in Jonesboro has opened to the public.
Very good news. And we've got a hail picture coming in from a viewer. If you could go ahead and take this. Where is this coming in from? This is coming in from Vance and Maynard, showing some large hail there. I'm not really sure how large it is. We don't have anything to compare it to, but that's definitely some large hail that's fallen.
I'd say that's
Maynard.
at least a quarter, getting close to golf ball with that bigger hailstone.
Yeah, that larger one could be near golf ball sized hail. So thank you for sending that in. Remember, if you want to send us pictures, wait till after the storm passes so you can be in your safe space until it is safe to get outside. But we're still watching this area of rotation just outside of Corning, continuing to move through Clay County. And that rotation does continue to tighten. And when we start to get the brighter greens and the brighter reds, and they start to come together at a point, that's when we know that that's starting to tighten up just a little bit more. So we're going to be watching that closely. Let's zoom back in just a tad more to see where this storm is. Right now, it's right on top of Highway 62 on that road between Corning and McDougal. So if you're traveling on 62 or know anybody that's traveling on 62, you want to call them, tell them to get off the road. This is not the time to be traveling if you can help it. If not, you just want to pull over and try to find some shelter. But looking at County Road 256 as well as where we're seeing this area of rotation. So go ahead and move, zoom out just a tad bit more. Or that's going to zoom in rather, so let me hit this button instead. Zoom out a little bit more, get another storm track on this. If you're just now joining us, the only tornado warned storm that we have right now is in Clay County, but it is continuing to strengthen. We can see that in the wind product where the couplet, the bright reds and the bright greens are coming together. We can also see that because if we just look at plain old radar, you can see this little hook that is forming within the storms. If you look at the bright red color, that's a sign that the storm is rotating, still capable of producing a tornado. We've had large hail falling over in Corning. We've gotten reports of hail with other storms, and with this storm as it moved through Maynard and has continued to push to the east and become tornado warned. So we're going to be tracking this for quite some time. They just now trimmed Corning out of that warning because the area of rotation has moved to the east, but Corning, you still are in a severe thunderstorm warning, and there's more storms coming in behind you. So you still want to be inside right now, even if you're not in a tornado warned storm, because we have just large hail, gusty wind. It's just not a safe environment to be outside in right now. Going to try to do a storm track on this. I might have to zoom this out a tad more before I can get this to go out to the east at 50. We're going to get so close. 47, I think, is close enough. So Piggott at 7:55. That's when that area of rotation is getting closer to you. Looking at St. Francis at 7:59, 8:07 in Holcomb, and Gideon at 8:15, and in Wardell at 8:21. A lot of those popping up in Missouri, but keep in mind that just because there's not a warning downstream, that doesn't mean a strong storm's not going to be moving downstream. There's really no reason for that storm to weaken as it continues to go to the east. Right now, only Clay County officially in this tornado warning, and that does expire at 8 o'clock. So, Aaron, have you gotten any more reports on this storm or any of the other storms?
Not on this storm, but we have another photo. This is from Michael Godwin in Maynard. of the hail that fell just a little bit earlier with this storm that's now pushing through Clay County. So this is that storm that has the tornado warning storm on it right now, the tornado warning on it right now. So the large hail is starting to verify with this storm. Also getting reports a little bit earlier of some hail, about quarter-sized hail back in Hardy, or in Highland just a few minutes ago. So we have a pretty good line, if we can go to max 2 right quick, of showers and thunderstorms, and we have to start watching this storm that's back towards Batesville as well. Not quite up to severe strength just yet, but you can see where you're starting to see those darker reds getting close to those maroons there, getting close to Batesville. That's just showing that we're probably starting to see that hail get a little bit bigger there in Independence County. So would not be surprised to see that hail start to increase as we take a live look from south side, looking back towards the west. You can see those dark clouds starting to move in to south side. I'm going to move that camera just to the left just a little bit. You can't really see too much, but that is that storm starting to move in to south side into Batesville. So we'll keep an eye on that as that storm continues to move off towards the east. Now, a new severe thunderstorm warning is going to come out for parts of Clay County for the storm that's off to the west. So we got basically a train of storms that's stretching really from about Melbourne to Ash Flat back to Pocahontas, and that's all moving towards the east. So we have several areas of some hail pockets. So we have one hail pocket that's in eastern parts of Randolph County there near Biggers and Reno that's going to move back over towards Dado and Corning. You have another area near Ravenden Springs, and then we have a couple areas there south of Ash Flat and Williford, and that's all moving to the east. And then we have the tornado warning that's in effect for the area of rotation that's on highway, or just south of McDougal on highway 139, I believe that's the road there. Just taking a look at the velocities, still having trouble looking at the wind velocities in that storm. But as you look back off towards the south, we're starting to see more storms starting to develop back into western Arkansas. But the strongest storm continues, and Region 8 continues to be in Clay County with a possible, at least some rotation south of McDougal.
Yeah, so that's the storm that we've been watching closely. That's the reason why we've cut into programming, is because we do have this tornado warm storm over in Clay County right now, and we are getting some periodically bad wind data with this, but it still hasn't fixed itself just yet. You can still kind of see where this area of rotation is with the hook. I don't want to say that it's weakening just yet because it doesn't really have much of a reason to, but we're going to be continuing to track these storms moving to the east. And as Aaron just mentioned, they're moving over the same areas that have already gotten hit with hail, and likely seeing more hail forming and falling onto the same areas in the next 15 or 20 minutes. So we could be in for quite just a train of hailstorms over the same places. So Corning, we still have this new severe thunderstorm warning for you guys. That's going to be for new hail that is forming just to your west and pushing in your direction. But we just got a new radar scan, but the velocity, the wind rather, didn't get any better. So we'll go ahead and zoom in just a tad and look at where this storm is rotating. You could still see it with just the radar. This is south of McDougal, continuing to push to the east. Piggott, you need to be in your safe place if you've not already done so. Remember that your safe place is the lowest level, most interior room, as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And you want to protect your head as you're seeking shelter as well. And also, don't forget to put on shoes. Sometimes people forget that, and if something bad does happen, which we don't really have any indication that there is a tornado on the ground right now. We just have area of rotation that we're watching that potentially could drop. And right now we want to pretend like it is, just so we can keep ourselves safe. So if we go ahead and look at the wind, we're starting to get some better data in, but you can still see that rotation south of McDougal. We're going to zoom in on that pretty tightly and try to call out some smaller communities. If you're anywhere in Clay County and your phone went off saying that you have a tornado warning, now is not the time to go outside. and try to see it. Now's the time to go ahead and get into your safe space. You want to protect yourself. That's going to be the #1 priority right now. But we're going to be watching this area rotation on top of County Road 447 as well as County Road 431. If you're seeing and hearing any of these town names or road names and they sound or look familiar, you want to be in your safe space, because even if this area rotation doesn't go over your house, we're still going to be seeing a very strong storm capable of producing very gusty wind, large hail, and even a tornado. So we want to be inside in our safe space right now. If you're in Pollard, as well as along County Road 461, looking at West Clay Street, County Road 463, Heritage Park Road, County Road 450, Ann Avenue, Clay Street, and Piggott Community Drive. All of Piggott needs to be in their safe space right now. Still watching County Road 344, County Road 342, continuing to watch County Road 341. St. Francis, you want to be in your safe space as well. You're on the edge of this warning. We just got some new radar data in, and it's just not looking good. So we'll switch back over to just plain old radar, zoom out just a little bit more while we wait for some better wind data to come in. But this area of rotation, you can still see it. It's right outside of McDougal to the south. McDougal about to get in on some more hail. You can see this bright pink, the maroon color. That's hail that's up in the sky. Eventually it's going to have to fall down because it just weighs too much. So we're going to have to watch that as we go through the next couple of minutes there. But still tracking this area of rotation that is to the southeast of McDougal right now. So we're going to go ahead and put another storm track on this. This is moving to the east at 50 miles an hour. So as we put a track on this, this is going to go outside of the warning. Officially, this warning does expire in 15 minutes at 8 o'clock. But we'll still give some folks downstream a little bit of a heads up, because even if the tornado warning does not get extended, that storm still going to move in that area, still capable of producing gusty wind and large hail. You want to be in your safe space. Remember, if you're watching us on streaming, there's going to be a little bit of delay. So look at the time in the upper right-hand corner, match that up with your watch or your phone so you can figure out how much that delay is. But at 7:52, this area rotation going to be on top of Piggott. So you've only got a few more minutes to get into your safe space. Holcomb at 8:03, Gideon at 8:11, Wardell at 8:17, and in Portageville at 8:25. This is the storm that we're watching right now. It's the only tornado warned storm that we have right now. If you're just now tuning in, that's the reason why we've cut into programming. We're watching this tornado warned storm. There are other storms happening in Region 8 though. A special weather statement with the storm right on top of Batesville, capable of producing some small hail, but not quite at the severe level. We're still watching the storm over in Sharp County, moving into the northern parts of Lawrence County and encompassing much of Randolph County as well. These storms capable of producing hail, places that have already seen hail this evening. So we're tracking this same line, moving over the same area, but the storm of the hour right now is going to be this tornado warned storm in Clay County. It does expire at 8 o'clock, but it is still showing some signs of rotation. So we'll go ahead and zoom back in onto that tornado warned storm and just trying to get a little bit more information on it as it continues to move to the east. Going to clear off that track that we drew moments ago and see if we're getting in some better. Still not getting a good wind data, which is unfortunate. Aaron, are you seeing something behind the scenes?
Well, I'm looking at the radar product on my phone, and it's showing the velocity a whole lot better than our weather system is right now. And
Okay.
the velocity is a little bit broader now. So what that means is that kind of think about an ice skater. Whenever you are spinning in a circle, an ice skater spins in a circle, they put their arms out and they spin slower. That's what we mean. It's spinning a little bit slower. It's not that the rotation is big and everything. It's just not spinning as fast. So we're seeing that. Some good news is the severe thunderstorm warning. They've issued a new severe thunderstorm warning, I think, just a little bit downstream from this. So they're not quite saying anything about issuing a new tornado warning, so they're probably waiting to see a few scans. Now, one thing about this is that the radar from looking up into Clay County is a long ways away. So with that, we still have to treat this as a storm capable of producing a tornado moving into Piggott. We do have some more hail pictures also that we're starting to get in. This is from Highland. Looks about quarter size hail, maybe a little bit larger there. That's from Sandy Hoots there in Highland from a storm a little bit earlier. So that's in Raven Springs. You see a quarter there. No, that's a dime. So it's around quarter size hail fell there in Raven. Quarter to golf balls, about the size there in Ravenden. That's hail in Corning. That's going to be about golf ball size hail in Corning from Richard Spence there in Corning. So that's the hail we're starting to see across the region with these storms moving through, and I think we'll still see some more. Just looking down the line, if we can go to Max 2 real quick, would not be surprised to see another hailstorm moving through Dado, moving into Corning. So people who may be out looking at the hail that just moved through, I think if you can see more hail push into Corning. Looking downstream, got another hail core just to the north and west of Pocahontas, and that's going to skirt probably on the north side of Pocahontas and back along the river bottoms there. And then as you stretch back down into Sharp County, not as large hail there in central parts of Sharp County, but still probably some bigger hail, but at least some nickels and dimes falling there. And then we're going to watch for this storm that's near Batesville. Probably seeing at least nickels, maybe a little bit larger there in Batesville. Still not a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. Let's take a look at that south side camera, and that's looking back off towards the west. And you can still see those dark clouds. It's kind of in and around. You got dark clouds in and around south side right now, with the worst of the hail or the heaviest of the rain just to the north of this camera. I'm going to swing it around real quick. You can see, probably seeing that's where the heaviest rain is falling in the hail, just to the north there. So we have that storm. I'm going to zoom out. Let's take a look at the Pocahontas camera as well. A little bit of a lowering. I'm not concerned at the moment, but that's something that needs to be watched as that storm pushes across Pocahontas and then across the Black River, moving off towards the east. And for sure, that's showing that we do have that updraft, that large hail on the north side of Pocahontas. And let's take a look and just see if we're seeing anything. Let's see if I can get this from the Little Rock radar. I'm not seeing much of anything, but that's still looking a long ways away, Christina.
Yeah, we're getting some faulty radar data in right now, but also keeping in mind that even if we were getting really good radar data, these storms are in a spot that is really difficult to see. One piece of good news is they've expired that tornado warning over in Clay County. So now we're only talking about severe thunderstorm warnings, which I think means that we can return back to regularly scheduled programming. But before we do that, wanted to go ahead and remind you that we are seeing severe storms this evening. That are all capable of producing some very large hail, and I fear that the night is not quite done yet. So we've got multiple storms capable of producing hail and producing hail at the time. Also, some very gusty winds are possible right now, and the tornado threat, it's not over yet. We do not have any active tornado warnings right now, but we're going to have to continue to watch this as we head through the rest of the evening hours. Wanted to go ahead and take one last wide view before we return back to programming, just to show you what we're seeing right now on radar. We've got multiple storms again producing hail. We've got a special weather statement associated with the storm in Independence County because it's just below severe limits, but still a strong storm. Still tracking that severe storm moving through Sharp, Randolph, and into Clay County as well. But right now we have no tornado warning. So at this time, we're going to be able to return to regularly scheduled programming. We're going to continue to watch these storms behind the scenes, though. For meteorologist Aaron Castleberry, I'm meteorologist Christina Ballantyne. We will keep tracking these.